Hi, I'm Caleb Turner with Hey Poor Player TV. I still need to iron this green screen, and this is the top 10 sidekicks in gaming. For every Sherlock Holmes, there's a Dr. Watson. For every Michael Jordan, there's a Scottie Pippen. Essentially, for every large-muscled, superpowered, brave-hearted protagonist, there is a slightly smaller, less-powered hero who itches for their moment of glory. These sidekicks can come in many different varieties. There are brainy sidekicks who do the planning. There are brawny sidekicks who provide the punches. And there are friendly sidekicks who provide an emotional outlet for the player as well as the protagonist. Constantly overshadowed by their heroes, these dispirited deputies have the toughest job of all, keeping their friends head on straight and providing backup whenever needed, all the while receiving no glory for their advantageous actions. As such, I'd like to give the little guy a little time in the spotlight. Here are the top 10 sidekicks in gaming. Number 10. Otacon from the Metal Gear Solid series. From his hilarious introduction in Metal Gear Solid to his touching final remarks in Metal Gear Solid 4 Guns of the Patriots, Otacon has been there for Snake since the beginning. While never helping him out in the field, our pal Hal Emmerich has planned missions, provided information, and been moral support for our Snake the Great. There is one particular moment of hilarity that comes to mind when thinking of Otacon, the photo viewer scene in Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty. If the player decides to ignore their objective and take pictures of miscellaneous posters instead of Metal Gear, Otacon responds in many different humorous ways.
Okay, first up... Oh, this is, what? Nothing. It's nothing.
Otacon will always hold a special place in both my heart as well as Snake's, as he was probably the closest thing Snake ever had to a friend. Number 9. Chloe from Life is Strange. Chloe is the tough friend that we all wish we could be in some way. She lives on the edge, she ignores authority, and she pulls off blue hair better than Sonic the Hedgehog. Chloe provides a much-needed edgy push for our hero Max in Life is Strange, as Max tends to err on the side of caution. With Chloe, however, Max is influenced to explore the world around her in a new way. She learns a lot about herself through Chloe, including her bravery, loyalty, and as cliché as it is, the true power of friendship. Max and Chloe are the best of friends. In fact, it's difficult to think of any other set of video game characters so intimately entwined. This is perhaps what sets Chloe apart from every other sidekick. Her yin to Max's yang allows for the player to join the characters when they laugh, cry, and everything in between. Number 8. Bentley and Murray from the Sly Cooper series. Okay, sure, I'm cheating a little bit by including 2 sidekicks in one rank. But hey, these sidekicks are like peanut butter and jelly. While they're serviceable separately, together they're unbeatable. Sly Cooper was always the star of the show. Born into greatness, he was destined to become a master thief. It's in his blood. Bentley and Murray, however, are just 2 regular children who happen to meet Sly at the orphanage when his parents are tragically killed. From there, they each hone their skills so that their gang can go from the Great Cookie Heist to entering the Cooper Vault. The 3 put together a perfect trifecta. Sly is the thief, Bentley is the brain, and Murray is the brawn. While Sly nearly always gets the glory for the heist, Bentley and Murray never seem to mind too much. In fact, these themes are explored in Sly 3 Honor Among Thieves, and it only serves to prove the loyal bond between these 3 characters. Sly isn't the thief he is today without Bentley and Murray. These 2 sidekicks are most assuredly one of the greatest in gaming. Number 7. Potatoes from Portal 2. Sure, one could argue that Potatoes isn't really your sidekick. However, to prove one wrong, here's the dictionary definition of a sidekick. Sidekick. Noun. Informal. A person's assistant or close associate, especially one who has less authority than that person. Potatoes assists Shell in escaping the bowels of Aperture Science, so I would definitely call her an assistant. And while GLaDOS would like to argue that she has more authority, in potato form, Chell calls all the shots. This symbolizes a switch in Portal 2, as rather than running from GLaDOS, Chell chooses to help her out. Potatoes is on this list because she is pragmatic enough to realize that her survival is dependent on her and Chell's cooperation, yet egotistical enough to make sure that she is as rude as possible to Chell the whole way through. Of course, this is stopped early on in the adventure by Potatoes' need to save battery. But the hilarity of seeing the game's villain be put into a spud is reason enough to have Potatoes grace this list. Number 6. GLaDOS from Grim Fandango. Sometimes, you just need an obnoxiously loud partner in crime to assist in whatever needs doing. GLaDOS is the perfect bear, hippo, monster demon thing for the job. He provides Manny a companion in the 40-year tale that is Grim Fandango. He's an excellent driver, confidant, and an all-around interesting guy. Who doesn't want a gambling addict for a sidekick? Hilariously voiced by Alan Blumenfield, GLaDOS is often a hit-or-miss type of character in terms of fan reaction. Love him or hate him, GLaDOS does have some undeniably amusing lines.
Manny, until now we scraped along the ground like rats, but from now on we soar like eagles. Like eagles on pogo sticks!
But I think the best thing that could be said for GLaDOS is just how memorable his moments are. A scene in which a drunk GLaDOS is confronted by Manny about his gambling addiction comes to mind. That scene had me in stitches when I first played the game. More than that, GLaDOS' tearful goodbye proved that the character exhibited endearing traits as well. GLaDOS is the sidekick that we deserve, as well as the one we need. Number 5. The Companion from Journey. Journey is a gaming masterpiece, complemented by a beautiful art style, a Grammy Award-winning soundtrack, and a resonant story that never ceases to keep the player captivated. These traits, however, are not what kept me engaged in Journey. Rather, I was enthralled by the other players I met along the way. For those who haven't played Journey, number 1, shame. But also, there's a mechanic in which you can use the help of fellow players in order to advance to new areas. The intriguing part, however, is that you do not know the other player's name, and you cannot verbally communicate with one another. The only means of conversation is a little chirp button. This organic method of talking connects the players intimately with each other. Indeed, I was legitimately upset when I lost track of where my newfound friends went. I vividly remember a moment in which I realized I had lost my partner. The next 15 minutes were dedicated to a frantic search for the lost soul. Eventually, I had to give up my hunt and sadly go on my weary way. I was legitimately and emotionally moved by this loss. I even sent a friend request after I finished the game, as Journey shows you who you embarked on the expedition with once you finish the game. I found that the other guy was equally distressed when he failed to locate me, and that is the power of Journey. While the partnership is less of a hero-sidekick dynamic and more of an equal alliance, I couldn't help but think back to Journey and my little friend when I created this list. Number 4, Luigi from the Super Mario series. Any list consisting of famous video game number 2s would be remiss without our green pal from Nintendo. Luigi is the definition of a shadow character. Mario is always the character that gets the glory. Luigi, however, deserves to have his due recognition. While seemingly every title has Mario's name, there are Luigi-centric games such as New Super Luigi Bros. And Luigi's Mansion. While these titles serve their purpose, I believe it is not enough for our taller, skinnier friend. Luigi was my go-to character in New Super Mario Bros. DS, and was my number 2 fighter in Super Smash Bros. Brawl. I think we can all agree that Luigi lacks his rightful 15 minutes of fame, so here they are, in this video, at the number 4 slot. Number 3. Walt the dog from Valiant Hearts. Humans are blessed to have the undying loyalty of the canine species. I think we have all had a loving connection with a dog at some point or another. This connection is embodied perfectly in Valiant Hearts. While the tale of the First Great War is a harrowing one, Walt's persistent friendliness offers a comforting respite in the face of grave danger. Emil can give orders to Walt in order to ensure each other's survival. Indeed, it is a symbiotic relationship that perpetuates both survival as well as emotional survival. They needed each other to get through the war. I won't spoil the moving story, but the ending only cements the bond that the two share. Walt is easily one of the most touching characters in gaming, and Valiant Hearts The Great War did both gamers and dog lovers alike a great service by introducing them to Walt. Number 2, Elizabeth from BioShock Infinite. The debates between the original BioShock and BioShock Infinite could go on, well, infinitely. Whether one prefers the dark and desolate empty corridors of Rapture or the lively, creepily unsettling city of Columbia, there is one clear aspect of Infinite that sets it above the original BioShock: the addition of Elizabeth. The original BioShock was revolutionary in making the players feel the loneliness of Rapture. The solitary confinement supplied the claustrophobic feeling of the game. And while that is perhaps what propelled BioShock to its status of masterpiece, it is the comforting addition of Elizabeth that allowed me personally to form a connection with BioShock Infinite. Not only did she provide unique and interesting new game mechanics in the form of tears, but she also made me feel a kinship with her that is unparalleled in any game, save for perhaps number 1 on this list. There has never been a side character so intimately entwined with the story of a video game. And that twist, though. No spoilers, but seriously, the story of BioShock Infinite is a mind-bender for sure, and Elizabeth was an integral part to the brilliant narrative that Ken Levine presented to us. And side note, I am a sucker for orchestral scores, and Elizabeth's theme is one of the finest themes in gaming. It really captures her essence better than any video or article could. Number 1, Ellie from The Last of Us. There is a reason that Ellie is topping off this list. She is, in essence, the greatest companion video games have ever seen. She completes every requirement for a great sidekick. She's mechanically helpful, she holds her own in a fight, and she establishes an emotional bond with the player that is unrivaled among both other video games and outside of the medium. Developer Naughty Dog creates something special in The Last of Us, and Ellie is an integral piece in the masterpiece puzzle. The thing that resonates so powerfully with me is the growth that Ellie and Joel's relationship experiences. At the beginning, the two cannot stand each other. However, as the game progresses, so does their connection, and it is an absolute joy to watch unfold. Ellie holds a soft spot in my heart, and it's difficult to express just how real of a character she is. She doesn't feel like your average video game character. She feels like an actual product of the situation she is thrust in. Plus, her constant swearing can't help but become an endearing trait. It is for these reasons and many more that I cannot recommend playing The Last of Us enough. Ellie is most assuredly one of the greatest companions of all time. Thanks for watching the top 10 sidekicks in gaming, according to me at least. If you agreed, let me know in the comments below. If you disagreed, let me know in the comments below. Show me who I forgot. As always, be sure to check out HeyPoorPlayer.com for more editorials, more reviews, and more news. And really everything else under the gaming sun. Be sure to check out our podcast, Hey Poor Podcast, at any regular old podcasting app. This is Caleb, signing off.